So how do I convince my children to stop calling each other names? I made the following persuasive argument at the Friday night Shabbos table. And it's really not my argument, it's an argument made by the Shloah Kodesh. This week's parasha, Parshas Bahar, there's a mitzvah of Einos Dvarim, not to grieve somebody, not to pain somebody verbally. And there's two very similar phrases in the Torah. In this week's parasha, it says, do not aggrieve each his brother, and do not aggrieve one another. Several verses apart. And the first one's referring to aggrieving somebody by cheating them monetarily, and the second one is referring to aggrieving somebody by using hurtful words. And the Sefer HaChinuch says, what's the reason for this mitzvah? The root of this mitzvah is because Hashem wants to have a harmonious world, He wants to have peace in the world, and He wants there to be blessing in the world. And the greatest vessel, the greatest receptacle for blessing in the world is peace. So therefore, if people are considerate with their words, the world will be a more harmonious place. Says the Shloah Kodesh. He brings from a darshan by the name of Rabbi. The Shloah Kodesh in the late 1500s was one of the greatest rabbis in Austria, and he says the following. He brings from Rabbi that it's very, very meduyik, it's very exact, that very precise. The first pasuk was referring to cheating, mentions the term achiv, a brother, do not aggrieve a brother. And the one that's referring to hurtful words says, do not hurt your friend. Why? He says because it's frequent when brothers are dividing their Yerusha, their inheritance, we need to be sure that we're doing a fair and careful evaluation of all assets, and when they're dividing and this one's taking that thing, the other one's taking the other thing, that nothing's being underassessed or overassessed, and that the split is indeed fair. So by brothers, it's relevant, this concept of cheating, because by dividing inheritance, we need to make sure it's done fairly. But he says, hurtful words, who would ever be mezalzel, who would ever denigrate a brother? What are you going to say? That your brother's dumb? So it means you come from a family of dumb people. Your brother's crazy? Your sibling's crazy? So you come from a family of crazies. So obviously what he's saying is that a person takes pride in his family, and the honor of his and the dignity of his family is indeed his own honor and dignity as well. And the truth is, if we extend this argument, this outlook to all Jews, and realize that the dignity of the Jewish people, of all of our brethren, is our own dignity, so that it'll be hard to speak badly of a fellow Jew as well. In Yerushalayim, about 80 years ago, there was a great tzaddik, Rabbi Zviller. So there was a boy from the Hebron Yeshiva who used to sleep with him. He was old. He needed somebody to keep him company. So the boy asked him to wake him up at 6 a.m. So he said, I'm not able. The boy wakes up at 6 o'clock, and he sees that Reb Shlomo is already sitting by his Gemara and learning. And the following day, the same story. So he says, why did you say that you couldn't wake me up? Yeah, I see you're up anyway at this time. Reb Shlomo said that even if you ask me to wake you up, when someone wakes up 6 o'clock in the morning, there's a feeling of discomfort. No one likes to be wrenched from their comfortable sleep. And I just can't bring myself to do that, to cause that feeling of discomfort, even upon request, to a fellow Jew. Halavai, we should have a bit of that sensitivity of Rav Shlomo Zviller. Okay, Kol Tov.